To say you gotta know somebody, oh know somebody to get somewhere these days. To say you know that's alright, yeah that's alright. Cause you know that's alright with me. Yeah you know that's alright, yeah that's alright. Cause you know that's alright.
The real deal is a deal that you get with none of your own money without the support of banks. You get to keep the property and you get paid to buy it. I'm going to give you a specific deal that we just put together. In the month of January, so far we got a $750,000 apartment building under contract, an $800,000 bar, restaurant, big piece of real estate, a duplex, and then these 7 duplexes that he's working on right now, which we should have wrapped up soon. So it's very, I'm showing you a $12 million portfolio with a balloon on them right now. But I'm telling you that I'm fairly comfortable that, although none of these deals are locked up completely yet, and none of them are settled, probably if you see me in March, just ask me, and it's quite possible that between the $800,000 bar restaurant, the $750,000, the 7 units, the 7 buildings are going to be like, I don't know, $1.8 million or something. I mean, there could be $4 million worth of real estate right there, $3.5 million. Yeah, you're right. That's a different one. That's a different one that popped up today. I'm going to actually show it to you. I want to show you this apartment building. We'll talk a little bit about it so you can kind of get the idea of the kind of stuff that we're calling a real deal. So this building that we're talking about, $750,000 so far, and it's been for sale for 800 days. Now, first hearing about a deal like that, you might think it's probably not a good deal. How could it possibly be a good deal? It's been for sale for like almost 3 years, all right? The only difference between us and most of the world is we have more ways to put that deal together. You want to know why it didn't sell in 800 days? Because the guy wanted no less than $750,000. End of story. It didn't matter, okay, why he wanted that. He just did. He owns it. We want to buy it. We're going to have to give him $750,000. He never specified how we're going to give him $750,000. We're not going to pull up with a truck full of cash, right? This is a picture of the building. It doesn't look like it, but it's actually 6 duplexes, all on one lot. Okay? They're all on the same lot. And that's basically an idea of what they look like right there. Okay? And what we're doing with this deal is we talked to the owner, we arranged for seller finance. He was willing to carry $350,000 in financing on this thing. We would just come up with $400,000. Okay? Now, I already told you, in order for it to be a real deal, I'm not using any of my own money, okay? So I am going to give the guy $400,000 in cash. It's not my money, okay? It's private investor money that I'm going to borrow. I'm going to secure a first position on this property, $400,000. I'm going to make payments to my private investor. My private investor is going to be happy with that, and we've already got that lined up. The second position mortgage of $350,000. We couldn't possibly buy this building, the $750,000 worth of mortgages at what would be more of a conventional rate of interest. We could never do that because it wouldn't cash flow. And we don't buy anything that doesn't cash flow because it has to sustain itself. Right? So the way we did the deal is we simply looked at the rent roll, looked at the taxes, looked at the insurance, looked at the vacancies, looked at the repairs, looked at what the $400,000 was going to cost us a month. And we had a number left over. And that number was $3,500 a month. And we knew that if we paid this guy anywhere than $1,000 a month on the $350,000, it wouldn't work. So $1,000 a month on the 350. We accepted. So we got $350,000 worth of financing for 7 years, and all we have to do is pay $1,000 a month on it, right? So now, all of a sudden, with none of my own money, $400,000 private investor, $350,000 seller finance deal. This property is going to cash flow $2,500 a month. So here I am doing nothing but talking on the phone. I looked at the property once for about, I don't know, 20 minutes. I got in to see 3 of the units. The rest of it I'm not worried about. Check it out. And once, once we get into due diligence period. So that's how I bought it with none of my own money, without the support of banks. Now, I'm going to be able to keep it because of cash flow. So the last part of the equation is I have to get paid to buy it, right? I have to get paid to buy it. So when I worked out the financing with a private investor, I didn't borrow $400. I'm actually borrowing $500. And the numbers I gave you are $3,500. That was with the $500,000 and the $350 seller finance. Okay? Why did I borrow $100,000 extra? First of all 6 buildings need a new roof. All 6 of them. Roofs were wasted, even though they were A-frames, they were deteriorating. You could see it all over the ground, the little gravel from all the roofing shingles, and you could climb up on the 2nd floor of the top one, and you could actually see all of the roofs, okay? So, I knew that the roofs needed to be done, so I did a very sophisticated calculation. I said, 6 roofs, $5,000 a roof, there's $30,000. And so I knew I needed $30,000 in repairs right there. I also have to get paid to buy it, or I don't want it. Gotta get paid. It's a real deal, remember? So we figured that $30,000, right, was the number we were gonna keep for ourselves. So now I'm at 60, right? And I got some closing costs, and some other things that I was gonna need some money for traveling expenses, to fly down to Florida, inspect the property, fly back, come down for settlement, things like that. So we figured about $20,000 would go towards all those expenses, taxes and everything we needed for closing costs. The extra 20 would just get thrown in the bank account. Yeah. Well, we didn't need to furnish it because the whole place is all rented up, but we did see some minor things that needed, some new mailboxes, we were going to fix the fence, and they needed some professional landscaping. Nothing serious, okay? So, if you just think about this deal for a second, it sat there for 800 days. Are we that much smarter than everybody else? Okay? Maybe we just know the strategies. If you don't need to be a rocket scientist to do this business, we just know the strategies. So let's talk about it. What was it? Private money. You gotta know how to raise it. You gotta know how to secure it. You gotta know how to write it up properly. We teach people how to do that. We got our private money package sitting right over there. That's something you want to learn about. The other part of the deal is seller financing. You gotta know how to structure it. You gotta know how to ask for it. You gotta know how to sell it to the owner. Right? You want to sell this building? Here's the only way we can do it. Explained it to them. And these guys were difficult to deal with. Quite difficult. The realtor in particular was a real pain in the butt. And we wanted to get him on the phone, and all he wanted to do was tell me how I should buy this building.